Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is your Piney Podcast. All things South Jersey. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, The Pineys, books 1 through 17, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. If you'd like to support the channel, please buy a book and please leave a review if you liked it. If you didn't, just keep watching the videos. Anyhow, let's get into it. Thanks to all who came out to the Renaissance Fair at the shops at Dragon Village. Totally fried, but I'm going to try to soldier on. First up, we get into the crime. New Jersey man gets prison for 93-mile-per-hour crash that killed another driver. Holy crap, dude. This was in Tom's River. Dude, what were you doing? Murder in Millville. 20-year-old shot and killed on Saturday morning. No bueno. It's a homicide investigation. This was happened just after 11 a.m. Bribery scam uncovered as 2 charged for using public official to scam local businesses. This was in Trenton. So Attorney General Matthew J. Placken has done something positive, so I'll give him credit. Disturbing hidden camera found in Ocean City public bathroom. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this guy? And I know this bathroom too. This is the bathroom near the music pier, and I've used it on occasion. I assume they were in the female cameras, but female bathrooms. So no bueno, but at least they found it. South Jersey man who shot and killed dangerous home invader arrested for ghost gun. It ended tragically with a gunshot victim succumbing to his injuries. Oh wait, this was from 2024. How did this pop up? I gotta tell you, you click on things and you think they're current, and it's just a bunch of ads for the previous articles. New Jersey nightclub overserved a man alcohol before fatal crash. This was Boogie Nights at Tropicana. The crash killed an 8-year-old boy. That's terrible. Terrible. So I guess they're getting sued. It's terrible, man. Man drowns while swimming in lake in Camden County. Apparently this is a real problem in this Winslow Lake. It's called Penburn Lake. And 2 people drowned in the lake last year. Not sure why. Is it because it's super cold? Or did he just get, I don't know, tangled up in something? 4 detainees escaped from an immigration detention center in Newark, New Jersey, DHS says, and the update is 2 of them have been captured. 2 are still at large. This was the result of that protest somehow. I saw some of the footage from it. Apparently it wasn't in the footage. But I don't know what the people, protesting ICE thought they were doing. They're going to free these guys and what? Keep them on the run for the rest of their lives? You know what happens to you when you're detained, right? They take your fingerprints, at least take a picture. They got some kind of name, unless these guys lied about who they were, in which case I don't think you want them in the country. Yeah, no bueno. And Galloway cop who got slashed in the face on duty was nominated for a Valor Award. That's awful. That's so awful. He was slashed in the face so badly while responding to a call that his mouth and teeth were exposed. Oh, God. See, this is part why I couldn't be a cop. I'd have shot this MFer. I know, I don't believe in capital punishment, but I believe in, pain. I'd have been like, blam, 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 blam. Would have unloaded the whole clip. Dozens of students ID'd in wild South River, New Jersey senior prank. It didn't seem like much of a prank. They just kind of wrecked the school. Like a prank, you got to be a little creative with it. Like if you go in and turn all the desks upside down, right? Then it looks kind of cool. You walk in, every single desk is upside down. Or you stack. Like, you don't just throw trash all over the place. You, like, stack it up to make it look cool. Or you bring every desk out into the hallway and run the line all the way up down the middle of the hall while interlocking the desk. So people are forced to climb over them to get on either side of the hall until they move them all. Like something like that. Not just, like, wreck the place. New Jersey schools have a chronic absentee problem. I guess. Not the seniors, though, because they don't give a crap. The problem with school is simple. It's not presented to older kids as being important. And it's not important to older kids. Especially seniors. But if you're not learning, what the hell are you doing? Now, there are a lot of dysfunctional kids. It's really tough to get them to learn. But the problem, as I see it, as a guy who had a little experience doing this stuff, they just aren't challenged. There's no consequence to not doing your homework, basically. Yeah, you might get a bad grade, but they're going to pass you. That's the major problem. They're going to pass you. And they just want you out of the school anyway. What I would do is I would redesign the school. I would say you have until you're 18, or maybe you'd go to, like, say 20, right? You do have kids who get left behind once in a blue moon, but you could say to the kids, look, you have until you're 20 to graduate. And some kids will graduate early, and they do. They could be on some sort of accelerated programs. But you have some kids who you just get left back. But either way, you're out of here in the 8th grade when you're 18 or 19 or 20. Like at 18, you could, by the time you're 16, they allow you to quit school and you don't finish. So what I would say is, if you want to quit school, you get a degree, you get a high school diploma, but it is a 10th grade diploma, right? Because that's the grade you'd be finished. So if you could at 18 get left back twice, and then you get a 10th grade diploma, or you could stay in another 2 years and get the full, regular diploma. There'd be different levels of diploma. And then if you age out, once you hit 20, you're done, right? That's your last year. And then you have to get a GED. So you get like a 2-year buffer, I would say. And then, any kid, like, you could be left back so many times. You get an 8th grade diploma if you're that bad. If you want to keep coming back and failing, I guess. But there should be some consequences to kids who don't do their work. And you should be able to throw these kids right the F out of school if they're a problem. Right? So if you're 16 and you quit school, well, if you're 16 and you're a problem, you should be thrown right the F out. In fact, I think, if you privatize the system, you could easily throw kids out and force the parents to, make those kids act disciplined. And then you could have, potentially for the really bad kids, you might have a state-run school that just would essentially be like military school or prison. And then you could sort of separate the students who want to learn from the students who kind of want to learn, and the students who just want to do the minimum. And you could kind of get them all in the same classes. But yeah, I I mean, a lot of kids just, they blow off school from the beginning. And the problem too is they fall behind and they never catch up, and the school pushes them through anyway. Those kids are wasting everybody's time, and you're wasting their time. You might as well just kick them out of school when they're 12, if that happens, if you're not going to leave them back. You keep passing these kids is the problem, and that's directly on the administration. They rig the system so they can push these kids through at all costs, and they pressure the teachers to do it. Now, some of these teachers are in on it and they're fine with it. Some of them, they have no choice. So it all goes back to unions. It all goes back to the administration, which is why you need to privatize these things and get the price down. The price would be, it'd be so much cheaper. So you would get your property taxes back, or most of it, and then you could take that money. I mean, my property taxes, and I'm in a fairly cheap place for South Jersey. I think they're around $7,000 now. So you can't tell me that, for $5,000 a year for a basic, grammar school, high school education can't happen. Because keep in mind, you might have a school with 1,000 kids. You multiply that by $5,000, you got a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's enough to keep the school operating on, but you got to get rid of the union. And you got to privatize it so the unions can be pushed out for the most part. Or, that they have to really negotiate it, as opposed to our politicians who don't really negotiate with the teachers because they're afraid of, the Democrats are definitely afraid of alienating them, the Republicans not so much. Governor Phil Murphy expresses solidarity with Governor Gavin Newsom. Will ICE be at MetLife? I have no idea, but why the F would Phil Murphy express solidarity with Governor Newsom now? Oh, he wants to be his VP. See, Phil Murphy's teeth will not allow him to be the front runner, but he'd be a good VP pick, I guess, for Newsom, who looks younger. And if you have no idea of Phil Murphy's record, Murphy would be a terrible candidate, VP, president, dog catcher. He's terrible. He's got I don't know, even the people here who vote Democrat, I don't think they like Phil Murphy. They tolerate him because he's not, the best they would say about him, well, he's not a Republican. So if you think Phil Murphy's going to save the Democratic Party, that would be hilarious. With offshore wind struggling, New Jersey Dems turn to tidal energy. Oh, great. Yet another scheme. How about this? I mean, stop jamming people into the country. Because the more people you jam into the state of New Jersey, the more energy you need. The more buildings you have, the more energy. They're building everywhere around here. And I don't like it. Stop building stuff. Stop bringing people here. Now, hopefully, with the deportations, it's just going to sort of, drive things to a cheaper place, because there's going to be empty houses and apartments, and when houses and apartments are empty, that's when the prices go down. And then rent's going to be cheaper, and buying a house will be cheaper, and it'll just slowly start to go down. And, then people can afford to live here, and we don't have that enormous, hopefully no enormous tax burden. Everybody should be reassessed. But what governor's going to do that? I hope Jack Citarelli, but we'll see. Protest against Trump admin held across South Jersey. Okay, thanks a lot, Press of Atlantic City. But I guess it's a news story. What happened to liberty and justice for all? What are you talking about? You're protesting, aren't you? So, most of these are AstroTurf. We know this now. That's a nicely printed sign. Most of these aren't homegrown signs. So, resist means nothing. I mean, it's just a word. Oh, I'm part of the resistance. Of what? What are you resisting? You're out there protesting for what? What's the resistant? You know, these people draw a correlation between the resistance now and the resistance of the big war. And that is really spitting in the face of veterans and other people of that war, because there was an actual war and an actual resistance where you could be brutally murdered. It's just not the case now. You really ought to rebrand, number one, and think about what you're even protesting. All you're really protesting at this point, all these people ever protest is just Trump. That's it. There's no principles backing their movement at all. It's just that we're not in power, therefore Trump is the devil. They'll do the same thing to Ron DeSantis and J.D. Vance and anybody else who tries to run. So I have zero respect for these people, because I would go to anti-war protests, and I may very well go to another one soon at the rate things are going, but those had at least somewhat of a principle behind it. There were socialists there taking advantage of people, but at least the idea was there. Oh, we're against the war. We're against this war, whatever the war it was. Back when I went, it was Bush's war. I am against the current war. Hopefully it'll end very soon. What are these people? These people are just against Trump. It's like, a bunch of people got together and say, yeah, we don't want Joe Biden. Resist. Well, what are we supposed to do? We'll get rid of him, impeach him. Yeah, but then another Republican comes in. Well, we'll get rid of him. Like, these people won't be happy until they have a Democratic candidate back in power. That's all they are. They're an extension of the Democratic Party. And some of them are directly paid by them. And we know that now. And one of the things they could do to lend themselves some credibility is call that out and say, no, we're not paid. But they don't do that, because a lot of them are. It's the only reason so many people come. One must gather from the fact that they've paid thousands of people to protest. And it's really just shameful at this point. It's just shameful to pay people to protest Trump. Here they are in Haddonfield. No clowns, no kings, no crowns. And again, no kings makes no sense either. And it would be different if they had an original slogan on their sign instead of the slogan they were handed by, I assume, the DNC or whoever's coordinating this. But this was on Haddon Ave, not far from me. Thousands marched. I sincerely doubt it was thousands of people down Haddon Ave. Thousands of people don't even live in that area. Where did you get thousands of people to march? It doesn't look like thousands. That looks like about 10. Come on, it wasn't thousands. There's no way. I mean, if you count everybody across the country, we can always make it through this. Miss New Jersey 2025 encourages women to persevere. Well, yeah, okay. Progressives pull major upset in Cherry Hill election, taking party control. Uh-oh. The Democratic Party in Cherry Hill is getting new leadership. Oh, okay. After South Jersey progressive Democrats scored an upset. Progressive Democrats, are these guys even more woke than the current crop of Cherry Hill people? Secured Tuesday's election to represent Cherry Hill on Camden County's Democratic Committee. Okay. Good luck, Cherry Hill. Looks like bad polling again in New Jersey race for governor. I'm not surprised. Again, I think New Jersey's very corrupt. So I would assume the polling is very bad. I mean, I'm glad Citarelli won, I guess. I just want him... The bad polling's coming in the now race between the Democrat and the Republican, which I think is probably gamed for the Democrat. New Jersey sues federal government to preserve Phil Murphy's 2035 gas ban. gas car ban, and this is once again a giant waste of money. They're going to, number one, they're going to lose, and number two, gas cars aren't done yet. And I've said this multiple times, and I don't know how many times these people need to hear it, but Elon Musk, the expert on electric cars, has stated quite clearly there's been great progress, but it's, you can't force everybody to buy an electric car. It's just not feasible. It would, first off, take you 20 years to replace the cars on the road if you started now and you forced everybody to buy them, like literally made gas cars illegal. It would still take you 20 years. You know what kind of advances we're going to have in 20 years? It may not even be an electric car 20 years from now. It may be a car. Again, I point to one of my favorite old TV shows, the Gil Gerard Buck Rogers. And there was an episode where Buck Rogers goes back to Earth, because he lived in a cloud city in the future, and they gave him a motorcycle, and to fuel the motorcycle, he dropped in a pill, and they said the pill's good for a year on the motorcycle. We could have a situation in which gas is so amazingly efficient that it runs your car for weeks, right? Over the next 10 years or so, you could fuel up your car and it could run for weeks on a gallon of, a tank of gas, let's say. They have made great strides in the gas mileage of cars. They weren't always getting, 20, 30 miles to the gallon. Back in the day, maybe they get like 10, 15. So you could, within, say, like 10 years, they could be getting 50 miles to the gallon. And, if gas prices hold, God willing, that could mean you'd buy a lot less gas, right? And even the gas tanks, they might make them smaller in order to say, well, you don't need as much gas. And that sort of makes them safer. You don't run around with giant gas tanks full of fuel. And so gas might be the way, and they could put a chemical in it to make the pollutants virtually non-existent. You don't know what they got in store. It could be wind power. I don't know. Electricity could be. They could improve the battery to the point at which, those old Teslas are worthless, and a lot of them are. When they go bad, once the battery goes bad, that's the whole car. So, and, 20 years from now, I promise you the electric cars will be a lot cheaper. A bid for bail by former U.S. U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, rejected by appeals court as prison looms. Adios. Governor Murphy puts heat on energy distributor amidst skyrocketing costs. I'm not looking forward to my electric bill this month. So thanks, Phil Murphy, tool. Former Governor Whitman joins Sherrill for Morristown No Kings protest. I'll remind you that Whitman was supposed to be a Republican. And yet, here she is in a protest with the Democratic candidate for governor. Yeah, she was part of the Bush machine. She's part of the establishment. She ain't going to back anybody who was backed by Trump, most likely. So, I don't know, did she officially flip to a Democrat? I wouldn't be surprised. She probably hates Trump just as much as everybody in the establishment hates him. New Jersey study, greater use of nuclear power seeks do-over on auction that sent electric prices soaring. Good. Wildfire in Wharton State Forest swells to 4,200 acres, multiple roads closed. I'm hearing a lot of rumors about this. The mine-sprung wildfire started early Friday in Burlington County, and an air quality alert is in effect for parts of South Jersey. I could smell this at my house, and then I drove all the way to Bridgeton and smelled it the whole way. That was Saturday. Today it wasn't. I couldn't smell it. Here's an updated version. Wildfire burning in Burlington County at 5,750 acres, 80% contained. I'm shocked the fire even got set off. It was so damn damp. But the rumor is it was set. Wildfire swells to 9 square miles as crew makes progress in South Jersey. This was yesterday, in the middle of the day. Yeah, it was very hazy, but it smelled nice. I don't know why people complain. It smelled like a fireplace and wood burning. TSA issues urgent warning to New Jersey about airport USB charging stations. Okay. Apparently, when using USB ports found in airports, you open yourself up to the risk of your personal information getting stolen thanks to malware that hackers can install in these USB ports. Oh, I had no idea. Huh. Information like passwords can be stolen, as well as other personal information. To safely charge your device, use your own charging brick. Okay, so not use them, in other words. Bring a TSA-approved portable power bank. Avoid plugging directly into public USB ports to charge devices. Well, why don't you just remove them then? Kittens may give people in Cumberland County. Kittens given to people in Cumberland County may have rabies. Holy Jesus. What a nightmare. There's a litter of kittens that need to be monitored for rabies. Oh my God. That's awful. That's so terrible. That's like the worst headline I've ever read. The poor cute kitty. I hope no one got rabies from that. Firefighters remove huge snake from car engine in North Wildwood. The hell? Where did he come from? He discovered a snake slithering around inside his car engine. So he called the firefighters. Okay. 3 of 5 America's deadliest animals are in New Jersey. Okay. Let's see. The eastern diamondback rattlesnake is ranked 5. The Africanized honeybee was 3. 3 of the top 5 animals we need to worry about in the Garden State, and here they are. Number 4 on the list is the cow, bull, and cow attacks are responsible for more deaths in the U.S. than sharks and bears combined. Had no idea. They are pretty heavy animals. Hiding at number 2 on the spot is a domestic dog. True. And deer, white-tailed deer, the number of vehicle accidents they cause during mating season is the main concern. I'm not surprised. I was out in the Pines one time, and a deer rocketed across the road. I'd never seen it run so fast. And fortunately, it was way ahead of me, but had I been there, holy cow. The stunning New Jersey gem is one of the Northeast's best kept secrets. Okay. New Jersey attractions away from shore? What is this? What is it? Patterson Great Falls Historic Park in Passaic. No, thank you. Not going all the way up the Passaic just to see a waterfall. Why New Jersey is officially the loudest state in the nation. What? Okay. The data was reported by Newsweek. Rhode Island, Florida, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts made their way to the top 5. No state made more noise than the Garden State. Is it construction? Oh, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't say why, but Guess we're just loud. We have a lot of Italians here, I know that. Delete these texts ASAP, New Jersey authorities warn. Okay. Oh, yeah, the motor vehicle one. I get this one all the time now. Yeah, the motor vehicle station doesn't contact you by text. How the hell did they even get your number? I mean, I'm sure they could, but they just don't. So just immediately delete junk and report it. There's one button for that on your Apple phone. New Jersey is fed up with hidden mandatory restaurant tipping. New legislation introduced in New Jersey legislature would require restaurants to clearly disclose any mandatory gratuity. Yeah, they should. They absolutely should. I don't mind it if it's a party. I think it's a party of 5 or more, right? It's mandatory. It's like included, and then you just pay it. But it shouldn't be hidden. Absecon Accessibility Group promotes push-button access to post office. Okay. He seems pretty happy about it. H Mart Cherry Hill, temporary 3-month close, begins in July. October reopening for the new grocery and food court. Okay. Art submissions needed. RCSJ to host annual Gloucester County Senior Citizens Art Show. So enjoy that. New Jersey singles aren't picky daters. Well, obviously. Turns out New Jersey singles don't have many dating standards or preferences. They're very flexible. Okay, a survey of 2,400 American singles responded were quizzed about their dating preferences. On the other end were states like South Carolina, Kentucky, and New Jersey. People in these states were more flexible about what they wanted in a partner. Average minimum salary, this is what people want. Partner would have to be $50K a year. 70% says their partner's height is not important. 70% would not want to date someone whose political or social views were different from theirs. 54% said a potential partner's physical fitness is important. That's a general preferences. Deal breakers include 79.5% said no sense of humor, 59.7% said unemployed or no career goals, 49.2% said having a lot of debt, 47.2% said they don't tip at restaurants. Yeah, that's a red flag. Osaka Sushi Grill and Buffet on Blackwood Clementine Road opens Saturday, June 14th, so it already opened. I drove past the sign. This is in one that used to be a different one. I forget what it was called. So, I don't know, man. I haven't had much luck with buffets like this. The food there's a lot of it, but it's not great in a lot of places I've been to, but maybe this one's different. What shows is New Jersey binge watching? Here are 10 big ones. All right. Breaking Bad, classic. Better Call Saul, classic. Severance, don't care. Sons of Anarchy, that was okay. The ending wasn't great, but a lot of it was good. Peaky Blinders, I've heard great things. Ted Lasso, not really interested. Ozark, I heard the first season's good. Dexter, I like the concept, and a couple of the episodes were cool, but seemed to get sort of caught up in itself. Belmar's new Browning Road Bridge opened on Friday. So hopefully this will alleviate some of the traffic in that area. Here are some of the dumbest laws on the books in New Jersey. No frowning in Bernards Township. No murder while wearing a bulletproof vest. No pickles on Sunday. No beekeeping in a commercial zone. No pumping your own gas. I don't mind that one. I don't like pumping my own gas. I don't like the smell of gas. Trout National, the Reserve Golf Club, Vineland Construction Update, 25 of June. So they're Again, they tore up the pines pretty good for this thing. You can see the pictures. The main clubhouse is under construction. So, enjoy it, rich people, I guess. Legendary New Jersey town named amongst the most charming in America is a Cape May. I mean, it's like every week. So, towns are named, and it's always Cape May. Yep, Cape May. Drones offer a lifeline to Ocean City swimmers with new technology. So, it can drop a flotation device from the air, giving the swimmer more time until advanced rescue comes. Yeah, that's not bad. If you got somebody who knows how to drive the drone. New Jersey parents are favoring these baby names, and the number one pick might be a shock. Probably not, but let's look. Where is it? Where is it? Oh man, you don't have a punchy list. Garden State loves the names Liam and Noah for baby boys. Those two came in first and second place. Lucas came in third. Joseph and Michael got fourth and fifth. For baby girls, it was Mia's number one, Sophia, Emma, then Olivia, and Charlotte. Okay. Boys and Girls Club of Cumberland County named Nonprofit of the Year. Okay, good job. Sip happens. These New Jersey milkshakes are worth the drive. Okay. Best milkshakes in New Jersey. Burger 25, Chick-fil-A. Those are both pretty good. I've had both of those. Hoffman's, haven't been there. Rich's Ice Cream, don't think I've been there. Stewart's, they have a decent one. In fact, the Stewart's in Hamilton has the best one because it's made with blueberries. Miss Mindy's Ice Cream, never had that. OG Creamery, never had that. You Scream Ice Cream, Mr. Softy. I don't know. I like Mr. Softy, but I wouldn't rank their shakes all that high. And Dairy Queen, same deal. Same deal. I would rank Royal Crown the number one. South Jersey's newest brunch spot is Waffle House meets Raising Cane's. So I guess you get a lot of chicken. It's called Sunrise Social, formerly known as Brunchaholics. That's in Vineland. I like the picture. Man, I'm hungry now. Top restaurants you need to try this summer in Cape May. All right. This is 30. Peter Shields, the Washington Inn. These will cost you some money. Primal by Mia. Now that looks new. These are all that one is a seafood one. Beach Plum Farm. Taco Cabalito, Taqueria. Lucky Bones Backwater Grill. I like the name of that. I think I've driven past that. The Seaview Inn, Mayor's Tavern, Ebbett Room, Tish's Fine Dining, Oyster Bay Bar and Restaurant, Panico's Bistro, Ocean View Restaurant, another one I think I've driven past, the Lobster House. I've definitely been to that one. That is good. Finn's Bar and Grill, Barefoot Bar and Grill, Cape May Fish Market. That is haunted, by the way. I saw a cool video of their ghost. He was in the basement. The Mad Batter Restaurant. That sounds interesting. Delaney's Irish Pub and Grill. Carney's Cape May. The Rusty Nail. I've heard of that one. I don't think I've been there. The Ugly Mug Bar and Restaurant. Harry's Ocean Bar and Grill. Elaine's Restaurant. The Pier House. That one sounds familiar. Blue Pig Tavern. I may have been to that. Hemingway Steak and Seafood Restaurant. Not the Hemingway from the Pineys, but still. Awesome name. Sea Salt Restaurant. And the Boiler Room. That's got a cool name. That looks very hipster. And finally, New Jersey's 33 best waterfront restaurants. We may get some overlapping here. Mr. C's Bistro in Allenhurst, Catbird in Asbury Park, Iron Whale in Asbury Park, Somersault in Avalon, ooh, very fancy. Charlie's of Bayhead, Bird and Betty's in Beach Haven, Parker's Garage in Beach Haven, Klein's in Belmar, Fish House in Cape May, the Schooner American at the Lobster House, Cape May. I assume that's the Lobster House. Maybe it's just rebranded. Tavern Veranda, Edgewater. Rat's Restaurant, Hamilton. Oh, I've been to that one. That is very good. One Willow in Highlands, Halifax and Hoboken, Batello in Jersey City, the Windlass at Lake Hopatcong, Hamilton's Grill Room, Lambertville, Avenue in Long Branch, Maya in Long Branch, La Barca in Longport, Betty's Seafood Shack, Margate City, Robin's Nest in Mount Holly. Have I been there? Sounds super familiar. Dockside Kitchen in Ocean City, Seabra's Armory in Perth Amboy, the Shrimp Box in Point Pleasant, Black River Barn in Randolph, Salt Creek Grill in Rumson, Drift House in Seabright, the Parker House in Seagirt, Andre's Lakeside in Sparta, the Deville Inn Strathmere, another fancy place, Blue on the Hudson, Weehawken, Molo's in Weehawken. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Hope you found this slight tour of South Jersey's restaurants enlightening. It made me hungry, because talking about food makes me hungry. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I'm very punchy. I'm not making much sense. I just got to end this and go to bed. So next up, Unexpected Farm on Friday, and some other stuff, which I'll be talking about later in the week. The Blueberry Farm on Saturday, and Lucille's Luncheonette on Sunday. So that's next weekend. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.